Hey guys, this is Sjokz here for Cybersports Network, and I'm here with Hi L9, team captain for X-Team Orbit, who are playing here under Reddit Nation at the Lone Star Clash 2, and Mark Ferraz, the founder and CEO of Quantic Gaming. Now, you guys are here together. That might mean something. I'm going to let you do the explaining. What happened between Quantic Gaming and this young gentleman here?
Well, I mean, basically, we've been watching League of Legends for about a year now, and kind of, I guess, with a lot of the top StarCraft teams, kind of watching things and saying, okay, well, what's the right time to enter? But, as I said in my statement in the release, even more important than the right time is the right team. And I really felt like the moment we saw their plight on Reddit, and we kind of learned a little bit about the team and how they've been a rising star and they've been up and coming, and they had a lot of hunger, and that we really look for that, because we really look for teams and players that really want to do a lot of work and really want to be the best they can be, not just as a player but also as a brand, as a personality with their fans and everything. So it seemed like a really good alignment for us, and it seemed like the right time strategically to make a move into the space. And I felt like there was a lot of work that had to go into this, of course, just organizationally with all of our staff and co-ownership and everything to make this happen. But just throughout the entire process, they were fantastic to work with and very professional, and just everything seemed to fall into place. So.
All right, I'll get back to you on that in a second. But first, you're here on the Reddit Nation. I can call you Quantic Gaming now. You a very strong showing, even though you lost against Curse, but you took a map off CLG EU, and just overall a very good impression. Where did you drop the ball against Curse?
Well, we've lost to Curse at the past two lands, Anaheim and Faceoff. We just have a pretty generally bad record versus them. We were going into it confident. Game one, we were doing very well, but then we just had poor decision making, and that kind of threw the game for us. And after that game, it kind of put myself on tilt. I don't know if the others were, but since I'm like the main shot caller, and that put me on tilt, it kind of just messed us over game two. And then we made a very bad decision bottom lane. And it just from there snowballed the game, and it's just bad mental attitude going into it, and we just played it bad, so it happens.
All right, but you still had a strong showing. At least everyone knew that you were a strong team. Can you tell us a bit about what went on at Orbit, that you're not under Orbit anymore, and how you got into the situation and that you're now under Quantic Gaming?
Well, when we first joined Orbit, it was because they had an invite to MLG Anaheim, and we wanted to get into the scene and see what we could do and see if we can progress as a team. At the time, we just really wanted to go to the tournament and compete, so we did that. And then over time, the owner and basically the owner just stopped talking to us, and we didn't like that. So I tried to keep contact with him, but he ignored me for multiple weeks on end. And eventually he just disappeared after MLG Rally. He kind of just took the money he owed us and the gear that was given to us by Razer. So he kind of just ran away with our stuff. So we don't like him.
Yeah.
So
I can see that, but you do like Mark. And let me ask this question to the both of you. What is it in yourself and your team that made you go to Quantic? And what is it to you that attracted you to them? Because I can imagine that there must have been some organizations knocking at your door with the promise you've been showing.
Mm-hmm. Well, what Quantic had to offer us was different from every other organization. Every other organizations would just offer us money, housing, and all this stuff, and that's fine and all. But what Quantic can offer is just more than that. They can offer us to grow as persons or as people and just become a family with them. And other organizations, I couldn't see us happening. We would talk to them, but we wouldn't be their family. And with Quantic, I think that's what will happen. And it just seems like the best experience for us. I want my team to grow as individuals and as players. And Quantic would be the best help for us to do that.
All right. Sounds good. How about you, Mark? What attracted you into this team?
Well, I think, like I stated earlier, basically when we look for talent, we look for an opportunity, it's a lot more about the people and a lot more about the cohesion and what we think we can do together, the work that we do with them and that they do among themselves, and what kind of a scalable opportunity that can turn into, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why we're kind of a developmental talent house. If you look at what we do with our facility in California and our Korean partnerships in StarCraft 2, we really focus on trying to find players that have a lot of potential that's untapped, and to try to bring that potential out and to help them reach that potential. And that's our primary focus as an organization. The owners and I, we all kind of got into this philanthropically at first and realized we have to make a business out of it, and started engaging partners and stuff a few years ago. And we just kind of feel like Obviously, there's a great deal of opportunity within League of Legends. This is a new funding model. It's a brand new kind of a model from an industry perspective, and it's I'm on a few shows and I co-host stuff, and I'm in the camera face a lot, and people ask me a lot about League of Legends and what I think, and this just felt right. Does that make sense? You meet the right people and things just kind of feel right, and you kind of get that just vibe, right? Like this is a go, like we should do this. And it makes all the risks and all the things that could go wrong seem more tenable. And that was just the case for this particular opportunity. And I felt really good about these guys. I feel good about this team's cohesion. I mean, yeah, they're a young team. They're still finding their footing, but I really feel like more than anything, we can help them, reach their potential, and that's really all we really want to do with any of our players. So,
of course, it begs the question. These guys are so full of, they're full of life, they're full of energy, and they're going to get you results. But on the other hand, might be some people that say, why are you leaving StarCraft behind a little bit, or are you maybe seeing that the opportunities and? Well,
I mean, I don't think we're leaving We have the largest foreign StarCraft roster in the world. Yes. I don't think we're leaving StarCraft behind. I think that we can continue to make some moves in StarCraft 2. I think you're going to continue to see, further acquisitions and further changes for us to further sharpen our sword. We love our fans. We really want to engage them further. I think as an organization, we've always put an emphasis on player skill, and we really are trying to drive more into building the brands and engagement with the partners and the fans. And I think that as a relatively young organization, just a few years old, we kind of in a peer group of teams that have been around a lot longer than we have. So we really are learning and trying to become the best that we can be, and we're just as hungry as these guys are. So I think that's why it was a good fit.
All right. Yeah, you're hungry, and you said, well, we've been looking for a while now, maybe over a year, because you have to find a perfect fit. What are the teams were you looking at?
Well, originally, actually, back in the WCG last year, Korea timeframe, we were in heavy talks with Solomid and Reggie and those folks, and that kind of stalled. And then there was actually a period where we talked briefly with CLG EU when they were coming up for their looking around and stuff like that. But I mean, ultimately, things just didn't ever seem to line up for us, and we made a move. We made a push into Dota 2 for a while, with the first team and then with the second team, both of which didn't manage to stay together. And we started in Call of Duty. We won 4 Call of Duty championships. I mean, we've kept teams of 15-year-old players together. Staying together is really important to us. Unless it's something where it's like a really significant performance issue or some kind of a real incompatibility issue, we really encourage teams to stay together and work through their problems. And so it's like a marriage. It is kind of, yeah, right. So it's one of those things. We don't like to sleep around. We like to stay together for a while. And yeah, if divorce is inevitable, then what's one thing? But I mean, at least you try to make it work.
I like that. Okay. Final question: the ambitions with the team for both of you, actually.
Well, as I've said before today, I want to be the best team first off in North America. So that's the first goal, and that's not going to be the best team in the world. Best North American team doesn't compete with the foreigner teams yet. So I want to be the best in the world, at least top 5. I want to be able to compete at the top level. I want my team and myself to be able to go against any team in the world, like M5 or TPA, and be like, hey, we can take games off you, and we can even win versus you. And that's what I want to do as a team. So.
Yeah, I can echo that as well. If you look at our history in StarCraft 2, you look at the things that we've done with our players, like Naniwa being in the GSL round of 8, Sase performing at the top of his game, living in Korea, working with Korean players, now State and Illusion being in Korea, heading to WCS. I mean, we have heavy ties in Korea. We're big in the Korean scene in StarCraft 2, and we have the longest running Korean partnership of any foreign team organization in the world. I feel like being able to compete at a global scale and a global class is definitely a goal for this team.
Do I hear you talking about Korea a lot. Are you thinking about sending these guys maybe to OGN, for example, the Champions Tournament, or maybe there to live for a while.
For you, baby. I think it's one of those things where the future is bright and there's a lot of opportunities there. We're going to see how things go. We're going to start off with our SoCal training facility, which is in Oceanside. Try to bring these guys together, put them under the same roof on a set schedule with some coaching and some discipline and some
A little more. Is there time for a little pleasure?
Well, we have a beautiful house. We're a mile away from the shore in California, and there's a lot of things to do. But we really try to encourage them to learn from each other, learn about their game, learn about interacting with fans, do some media stuff. But more importantly, we also try to do things with them like meditation sessions, how to deal with high pressure situations, how to deal with interpersonal conflict, how to encourage accountability within a team and cohesion and all that kind of stuff. And that could just be like when we do once a week things. So we encourage them to go to the gym daily, and we encourage them to eat right and everything like that. Because this is really a full athletic sport. It's not, you can't just eat crappy food and then go and compete and expect to be at your top performance. So it's one of those things where we kind of look at the player holistically, not just as a player, but also as a person. And we really want everybody who's in our organization to leave esports at some point, with their career behind them, feeling fulfilled and really positive about the experience, and it'd be something that affects them for the rest of their life. So yeah.
Wow, that actually sounds amazing, and I wish both of you gentlemen the best of luck, and I'm sure that you'll have a lot of luck and a lot of good results in the future. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.